Alrighty then, it's time for a Jungle Jarvan game, and this game is a bit special. It's because when I was streaming this game, people were weirded out by my item choices. So, normally when you get strong, when you get ahead, you tend to be, Ass Blaster Jarvan, AD Jarvan. You go the pseudo assassin route where you can murder squishies or something. But in this game, I'm taking a completely different route for completely different reasons. First off, I'm just going to start off with the basic, so red wolves to blue. And I'm going to invade Evelynn immediately. She's average speed, but if I catch her, I should probably destroy her. And I thought she would have already cleared red by now, but it seems something had held her up. So I go at her, and then she makes a run for it. I use the explosive room because I know Fizz and the top laner are coming to get me, so I'm just, running away. Thankfully, Xerath and the Pantheon react properly and come to the assist. Enough so that Fizz makes a really bad flash because he didn't realize Pantheon was there and dies. Swain gets hurt quite badly. We give chase to the Evelynn, who ends up burning Flash, getting hurt pretty badly. And then Pantheon manages to finish her off with the Ignite too, and I get an assist for that too. So that's a massive swing already in the very beginning of the game, because I get to steal red. We got 2 kills off of that first blood as well. We gained map control. We took Evelynn's buff away, so that's going to slow her down considerably early on. And Swain lost lane presence. So that ends. This kind of makes him very easy to kill again. Although Pantheon attacks him a little too early, and it will result in Pantheon dying, and Swain almost kind of just died to the minions, I get to get an easy kill against them and force him, to retreat or to go back home. Or obviously to respawn and then have to come back to the lane, and he loses an entire wave of minions. Look at that. 9 CS versus 9 CS to 19. And I'm actually just going to loop up again towards top lane, because Pantheon is one of the best laners you could assist for kills. Because, come on, he's got his little stun. He's going to waltz up there. Well, right as Evelynn comes up there. I'm going to waltz up there and, just wait until he engages, which he probably shouldn't, because the Evelynn, I think she knew I was there or something. She hesitated. And then, either way, Swain gets killed rather easily, and then Evelynn is going to decide to guard his tower because, she thinks it's going to help her. But, namely, I'm level 6, and I have a Pantheon who has a stun on demand, and as soon as she gets a little too close, just go in, EQ her, nuke her down, easy peasy dead. This just means Evelynn is completely out of the game. Now, you can see the amount of gold I have, right? I can buy myself Warrior or some actual, work towards Black Cleaver almost instantly, but my build is something different completely. It's Tiamat into Bammy Cinder, alright? And Pantheon gets another 2 kills right here. It's pretty snowbally so far. But some people on the stream were already saying Stonewall, so why are you going tanky if you don't, if you're ahead? You could just murder people. Look at my team composition and look at the enemy composition. My team comp is very dive heavy, and Draven requires a little bit of mobility when fighting, and and he's pretty much like a short to mid-range mage. And our only push is Xerath, who, if he starts using his abilities to push, the enemy team might just dive him and kill him or something. They'll engage on him because he's pretty important at sniping people. And though we are ahead, so it doesn't really ultimately matter too much, it's still a precaution I was taking, because in solo queue, even if you're ahead and you just if you're ahead and you decide to take a snowbally build, all of a sudden you could find yourself losing, and that build just bites you in the ass. So me going tanky is for dual purpose. One, and this was already intended from the very beginning. One, my team's pushing is bad. I'm actually going to be buying Banner of Command to give my team a little bit of push power. 2, if I go tanky, I can dive in there and survive. I have the ideal, or when I was playing this game, I had the idea that we were going to have to dive them and survive, because we're going to have to bring the fight towards them. Because their team, also doesn't have as great a push power or anything. But since my team doesn't have push power against them, it's mostly going to be sandbagging near the towers. So the best bet is to have some amplification through an item and using my face to tank the tower shots and hopefully bringing them down. To solidify the fighting spot in one position. So again, that's my hope. But here's what I mean. My team starts sort of dying for a few kills, and something like that can worry a player. You know, if you take a super snowbally build and your teammates start dying, or your gold is allocated heavily into just 2 players like me and Pantheon, you can't expect yourself to always completely carry. So yeah, this is why this build is very different than the norm. Again, a lot of people thought I was going to go Ass Blaster Jarvan, or Ass Destroyer Jarvan, I mean. But I'm going I'm going tanky with Banner of Command. And eventually I was thinking, you know, maybe even ZZ Rod Portal if I had the option to, you know, got a lot of gold. But yeah. So at this point, yeah, my damage isn't enough to completely murder the enemy team, but I also wanted to. But once I get the Titanic Hydra, I could do quite a bit of burst, and my teammates would be able to snipe them, namely the Xerath, or, you know, just kill them alongside all the other little AoE, short-range AoE we're going to have. Also, wanted to make a mention of something else that a lot of people do not take into account. When you play Jarvan, I always strictly say pseudo-assassin now. In the past, I would argue that he could just be straight out played as a pure assassin, because his ultimate wouldn't fail. Some years ago, actually, at this point now, they had changed his ultimate to be an AoE damage in the center of his Cataclysm. You know, everybody in the middle of it gets damaged for quite a bit. However, this also made it so if he ults somebody and they blink out of it right on time, they'll dodge that damage completely. Also, this part is really sad because I EQ towards him, don't actually hit that, I ult him, and then I end up hitting the plant, saving his life. That just kind of sucks. But anyways, in the past, if Jarvan ulted you, you took the damage. So no matter who it was, if you got hit by the EQ ultimate, you probably died if he was built for pure burst damage, right? It didn't do AoE damage, so usually if you didn't do it right, you probably got killed right after, but you know, you get what I mean, right? So yeah, like the enemy team has Fizz, you know, Evelynn, and the Ezreal, and sure, the Evelynn has to use her ultimate, but I thought to myself, the only targets I could possibly have executed if I got a pure AD have chance to avoid my finishing blow with my ultimate, so that in itself is a little too risky to consider. Either way, here's what I mean, like, I could just take so much abuse from them and kind of still wipe the floor with them. Yes, I am fed, and I have a lot of, you know, have a huge level advantage over them, but still the point still stands. With this tanky build, I just become a pretty good menace against them. And this is also to foreshadow when it comes to the later on team fights that I can just jump in there, hurt someone moderately badly, and then just take all the damage, and hopefully the rest of my team follows on my dive. That's my entire intention from the very beginning of the game, because I read the weaknesses of my team comp and the strengths of the enemy team composition, and I did that, or I reacted towards this, towards the needs of my team in the very beginning. Like, the invasion of the Evelynn was pretty much something I had to do to make sure I controlled her, so my really risky top laner wouldn't get completely stomped. Because, I mean, Pantheon is always going to be pushing, and is always going to be, you know, aggressive. Someone like Evelynn will just eat him alive. My bottom lane also had the risk of just being destroyed by Ezreal and maybe Evelynn later on in the point of the game. So yeah, I had to make sure to control Evelynn. That was my idea in the beginning of the game. Control or destroy her, which ended up being destroyed. And it led to top lane being absolutely giga-wrecked. And then, you know, from then on, just alter my build and just make sure to cover the weaknesses in some way. I was hoping that maybe even like somebody else would have taken another item, like another Banner Command or ZZ Rod Portal, but you know, just one is enough. You'll see me. I have the Aegis already. You know, it's going to become Banner of Command at some point. I died there mostly because, again, I don't have the damage to instantly murder somebody, and my teammates were in the distance to catch up completely. I was hoping to snipe somebody and then, you know, just completely whack them around for a little bit. But still, yeah. 26-17. It is obviously in my team's favor, and we are dominating right now. But I want you to So right now, it's just completely just put whenever I'm pushing, or I mean, whenever I'm going for kills or something, I make sure to give my Banner Command to something else and allow that to just kind of wreck towers. Because without it, my team's pushing would have been terrible, but with it, we're allowed to roam around and force dives and something while still pushing at a moderately good pace. It is doing quite a bit of work, although right now at this point, the enemy team is just kind of all dead, so we would have pushed anyways. But it's nice to have. Plus, cooldown reduction is a really good bonus with this, and plus the resistance of 2, which, in a sense, this makes it into pseudo Oro Jarvan / tank, because Jarvan has like all these weird little things he can do since his kit is very, his kit is very powerful for initiation, and thus he can just become a carrier for whatever build you want. But yeah, this is basically, in a way, Oro Carrier Jarvan, which, if you guys don't know, is actually my favorite build on a lot of characters. And not every character can take that successfully, so it's really good for Jarvan. So yeah, right, you look at my build. It's pretty much compact, it's good, it's working well. I'm basically unkillable at this point. Or I am killable, it's just essentially if I get targeted, it's a bad idea for the enemy team. And I know, I got fed, 9-1 and 13, that is giga fed, right? But you can't give... I hate tooting my own horn, but I kind of, deserve this feeding. And after that 1 hour Nunu game, that is the nightmare, the equivalent of Nightmare and Death, I'll probably upload at some point, which will likely be a 40-minute video. 40 minutes of voicing straight out. I deserve something like this, something that I actually have fun playing, reviewing, and just talking about because of all the cool stuff that worked together. I deserve this. And if you guys want that ridiculous Nunu game, I will get this video for myself, okay? That's kind of a promise. By the way, as you can see, we are able just to kind of brute force this at this point now. Give a minion barrier the command power, and just force fights. And now we're trying to control the Baron too. Once we get this, it's just kind of a done deal. I was working towards ZZ Rod Portal because I had the gold to. Again, I didn't really truly intend for it, and maybe it wouldn't even be the best item. But at this point, it's just kind of like, why the hell not, right? So yeah, look at that. Just the all-around power of Jarvan is really showcasing here. I get shot a few times, doesn't really do very much damage. I'm trying to force something, but instead I decide to go after the lone Evelynn, which is kind of funny because she disappears and I flash to try to reveal her, give a little bit of a chase, but whatever. Eventually, I give up on the chase, and the enemy takes out the cannon minion so I wouldn't buff it. Thankfully, the rest of my team is super duper strong, and not having Evelynn there makes it a fair fight, which my team will easily win. I gave Banner a command to just some random ass minion, and with that, we just pretty much win. So it was a pretty beautiful game, really well done, and I gotta, give credit to me and give credit to the really strong map awareness my team had this game. Thank God. Because without it, I probably would have been punished for the invasion. A little bit, not entirely. But thanks to them, and thanks for me, we won this game very clean. And if you liked this video, remember to give it a like. And if you aren't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. And if you are subscribed, make sure to hit the little bell up there somewhere so you actually get notifications to my videos, because YouTube and stuff.